What's going on, everybody? This is your boy Ultimate. The truth about martial law, man. Let's get into it, bro. The reason why it is extremely hard for law players to win, it really is a numerous amount of things. But one of the main things is that law has too many gaps. Too many gaps in between his attacks, which allows the opponent to sidestep or even backdash out of it.
Bryan Fury.
And if you don't know what I mean about gaps, I'm going to show you.
Get ready for the next
But let
battle.
me see what this person said first. Hold on one second. All right, so there are a lot of moves that Law does, and after we hit our opponent with it, or if the opponent blocks, there's a gap there. And within this gap, it gives the opponent time to either backdash out or it gives them the opportunity to sidestep. So let's first talk about these gaps. For example, one of Law's famous moves is the Dragon Hammer, which is forward 1+2. Now, let me remove the frame data first. Okay. Because this game is very aggravating. Because of the way they do our boy Law, right? Now, when you look at the gap, all right, so look how close we are, right? Our feet are basically touching. Let's start over. Our feet are basically touching, right? Now, I'm going to perform the move Dragon Hammer, which is forward 1+2. So even on hit, you can see how far away our opponent got pushed, right? If you look at our feet, you see the distance from Bryan to Law. There's a big gap right there. I'm gonna close the gap. Our toes or our feet are touching again. And even on hit, there's a gap there. Now, why is there a gap there? Why? Because they can do the animation to where there is no gap. And I'm going to show you with Bryan, when I either do his back one or back two, that there is no gap even when even when he hits his opponent, okay? So as you can see, once again, our feet are together, there's a gap. Feet is together, there's a gap, okay? Now, let's go to Bryan, okay? We're gonna basically do the same move, right? Our feet are together. That's not it. Our feet are together. I'm gonna do a back one. And look at that. There's no gap there. No gap. There's no gap. So they can do the animation where Law hits you with a Dragon Hammer and remove the gap. But they leave the gap there because they want the opponent to either sidestep or backdash out of Law's pressure. because a lot of people complain about Law. So they're making him easily beatable, which is very aggravating to me. Again, our feet are together. I'm doing back one. There's no gap. And after that, Bryan players like to follow up with this, because you can't sidestep after that. Okay. So I'm going to do it again. Back one, there's no gap, down forward one. Okay. Matter of fact, let me record that for you guys. Back forward one, down forward one. Okay. Now, I get hit with it, I can't sidestep. Even on block, you can see that there's no gap there. And I cannot sidestep it. No matter which way I go, I can't sidestep it, right? I can't even do a back 3-4 to get out of it. There's nothing I can do. I have to take the hit and guess the mix-up, right? All right, cool. They do that for Bryan. But now when it comes to Law, guess what? Even on block, there's a gap. Our feet are together. On block, there's a gap there. Why did they put that gap there? They got the gap there because they want the opponent to either sidestep so they can get out of Law's next move, or pressure, or they want him to backdash out, which is very aggravating. It's very aggravating the way that they're treating Law in season 2. Okay? That's just one of the things that I wanted to show about the gaps. The other move, I'm glad I got Bryan there. I'm gonna keep Bryan there. Now, when it comes to down back 3, let me take block off, excuse me. I am a little tired, so just bear with me, please. Okay. Now, down back 3. Our feet are together. I do down back 3. There's a little gap there, right? Everybody sees this. Our feet are together. Down back 3. There's a gap. Okay? It's very aggravating because now the opponent has a chance to backdash or sidestep our pressure. And the developers of the game, they know this. But because a lot of people be crying like the main man, who's a Mishima player, which are extremely buff anyway, our character whom we love gets nerfed. And it's not fair just because they have a hard time adjusting to frames or have a hard time blocking. But it's extremely aggravating because Bryan basically got the same move. Our feet are together, and look at that. There's no gap. I'm gonna do it again. Our feet are together. There's no gap. No gap there. So that means after Bryan does this move, he can do this again, and you can't sidestep it. Let's see. See, you can't sidestep it. You cannot sidestep it. You can't get out of Bryan's pressure, or even, I'm not even going to narrow it down to just Bryan. It's a lot of these characters that does loads, and you're so close to the opponent that you can't backdash, you can't sidestep, or none of that. However, when it comes to martial law, I'm close together, there's a gap. It's so aggravating. The reason why they do this is aggravating. Again, my feet are together, down 4-3. Look at that big gap right there. That's a big gap. This is why a lot of law players lose, because we have gaps. Whether we hit our opponent or whether they block, there's a gap there. And God forbid you do down 4-3 plus 4. He gets pushed all the way to the other side of the screen. And again, even if you do You're sliding to Nunchuck Oki. You can't do nothing because he gets pushed all the way to the end of the screen. Law is not allowed to have pressure, to be honest. He's really not. Just about every low he does, it pushes you away from him. DSS 4. Look at that gap. I mean, that doesn't make sense. It's aggravating. Our feet are I'm gonna do it again. Our feet are together. There's this big gap there. You can't even do a down 4-2. But the solution is back 1. It helps out a lot. Or, nunchucks. When you're in heat, it's safe. But when you're not, you can get punished. But the question still remains, why does Law have so many gaps in his attacks? It's aggravating. It's so aggravating. It's aggravating. This is why we lose. And not to mention back turn. Even when I go into back 2 and down back 2, there's a gap there. You don't even get +3 on this anymore. You don't even get +3. Oh my goodness. Not to mention, let me put the frame data back on. It's like they intentionally built Law backwards. I can't find it. Okay. It's like they intentionally built Law backwards. Hope I did that right. Okay. Now, right? So all these lows that they're doing with Law, it pushes them away. See how Bryan went all the way to the end of the screen? We cannot apply pressure. So we're already losing. Down 4, 3 plus 4, there's a gap. No gap needs to be there. When the opponent does their lows, there's no gap. Why do we have gaps? Why do we have so much pushback? But the low that they give us no pushback on, right? It's -1. So down 1 has no pushback, but it's -1. Help me make it make sense. They don't want this character to win. They know a lot of people play with him, but they don't want him to win. And God forbid, if you're on this sidewalk, look at that. He oh my gosh, you just saw it. I can't even put it into words. How many times as Law players did you lose because you're trying to do a wall combo? Look at that, man. You're trying to do a wall combo and it somehow just messes up. You do that, he gets turned to the side. Look at that, it just drops. That's my whole point. It drops. Like, they need to build Law all over again, for real. They really do, man. This is a rant video because I'm tired of them doing this to this character. Every time we have a strong Law, he gets nerfed because people complain. But yet, you got characters like Bryan who can sit in your face and just do hat-trick kick all day. They can do hat-trick kick all day. He's plus what, 6? There's no gap. No matter how many times you do it, there's no gap. No gap. There's no gap there. None. And he's plus 6. So he can easily go into this. And nothing we can really do but take the mix up or guess. But like I said, even with his back one, there's no gap. Look, our feet are together. Back one hit, there's no gap. It's +7? That's insane. It's +7. It's 20 frames and it's +7. And there's no gap. But then when I do it with Law, right? 20 frames. I got a gap. And it's plus, I think that's 6 or 8. I really can't see. Let me see something real quick. Let me get closer. Yeah, all right. So we got +8. But what's the point of it being +8 if you're going to give me this big gap right here? I can't apply pressure because they can backdash out or they can sidestep. So it's already a losing battle, even if you get the move. Even if you hit them with the move. You hit them with a low, it's a losing battle because they get knocked all the way to the end of the screen. Even with that low, there's a gap. Down back 3, there's a gap. Down 1, there's no gap, but you don't have no plus frames. This is the move it should have had at least +1. So you can go into a wild standing 1 to apply pressure, but guess what? They don't want Law to do that. And God forbid. Oh, man. I'm so aggravated with this. Not the character, but the way they design him. Not set. God forbid you get this guy on the ground, right? You do a down back 3, he gets pushed to the other side of the screen. Down 1, gets pushed to the other side of the screen. I mean, what else, dude? Even generic down 3, he gets pushed to the other side of the screen. So every move that you're doing, you're really not allowed to get any follow-ups or pressure with this character, with the exception of up forward 3+4. But who's going to stay on the ground that long to allow you to get a stomp? Nobody. You even do Dragon Tails. It flips him over, but he gets pushed to the other side of the screen. Help me make it make sense, guys. I mean, watch this. Watch this. Oh, he's on the other side. Even a generic down 4 pushes him all the way over. But these other characters, when they hit us, we flip over and we move half the distance. This is why it's very difficult to win with Law. So not only do you got to do, like, with your combos, you got to do 4 dashes. 1. See how hard it is? It's hard to talk and do it. That's 1 dash. That's 2 dashes. That's 3 dashes. That's 4 dashes right there that I have to do just to get a decent combo. 4 dashes. 4. That's just crazy. 1. See, if you don't do it right, you're gonna fall too. And it's hard. It's so hard. I'm gonna try to do it without talking. That's 1, 2, 3. That's 4 dashes I did right there. 4 dashes. Just to get a good jump. It's just insane, man. It's extremely difficult to win with this character. It's too difficult. It can be done, but your blocking got to be on point. You got to low parry everything. You have to tech out of all these grabs. It's just too much. It's too much you got to do with this character to win. But then you got characters like Horong, who can just keep hitting you with lows and there's no gaps. All these other characters don't really have gaps but Law. So that's my rant video for today. If you agree with me, kindly subscribe, support the channel. And until the next video, guys, man, peace, man. Sick of how they do law.